Our next guest is a very funny actor, comedian, and writer whose work you've seen on Detroiters, Drunk History, and right here on Late Night. And because she's a writer here, she wrote this next part and insisted I read it. And now, the most beautiful comedian and writer I've ever seen, a real live princess, Amber Ruffin.
Seth?
Oh, hi, Amber.
Seth Meyers?
Yes, Amber.
Well, I wasn't expecting a call from you. I would have dressed up.
Oh, Amber. So that's just your lying around the house outfit.
Yes, this is my lounge gown.
No, Amber, you've been on the show many times on camera over the course of our 1,000 shows. This is the first time I'm interviewing you. Are you excited for this moment?
Yes, it's everything I've ever dreamed of and more. You, weird addict, me in my hallway.
And you know who forced my hand was Anderson Cooper, because you were on Anderson Cooper's show last night and you were wonderful and he's wonderful. And I was thinking, well, now I feel like I have to interview you.
Yeah, he appreciates me, Seth.
I do. I would like to show a clip of the end of the interview where you didn't tell Anderson you loved him. You said you loved him too.
Yeah.
And it really made Anderson Cooper laugh.
Well, Amber Ruffin, I'm so glad you were on tonight, because I've just been watching what you've been doing, and I just think it's really powerful and important. So thank you.
I love you too, Anderson.
Amber, we've known each other for a long time. We met because we both worked for a theater in Amsterdam called Boom Chicago. You were one of the first people we hired for this show. But one of the things we found, I think, having you on camera and the way you write, is that you can both talk about serious things and connect with people in a way that also brings them joy. Did you, when you first started doing stuff on camera, is that something you knew about yourself?
No, I thought I was just going to take this job, keep my head down, and not get fired. Then I found out that you guys really let people do whatever they want. So I got to acting up.
Well, we've been really lucky because we have a writing staff that, is diverse enough to talk about a lot of different things, and things have happened, particularly the events of this last month, where, we called you up and said, hey, do you want to have something ready for Monday? And it was your suggestion to come on and tell your real life experiences with police. And initially you were going to do it on Monday, and then you also offered that you could tell a different story every day. What made you think that that would be the most powerful way to address it?
When it started, I started writing, bits about the protest, and then that felt weird and dumb, but it just became such an opportunity. I was like, oh, we write jokes about stuff all the time, but this is an opportunity to really let people know some stuff. So I thought, oh, let me just tell a real story and recount an actual story. And then you guys said, great, we'll put it at the top of the show. And then the movement really took off. And I was like, oh, every day still feels like yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It felt that exact same way for a really long time. And so I thought, well, I got stories for days. So.
And we should point out that you did 4 and you're not out.
I'm not out of police stories. Man, they don't like me.
And hearing it from someone like you, especially someone who had established yourself as a person who, when people see, they think, well, no one would ever have a problem with Amber.
Yeah, people think when police violence happens, they think, oh, well, what did that person say? What did that person do? And that gave me a real superpower here because, if you watch the show, maybe you've seen me enough to come to the conclusion that I'm a regular dude. I'm not running around yelling at people, demanding. I'm just hanging out and giggling. And that happened, I mean, can you imagine if I wanted them to recognize an ounce of my rights, which I would have been able to do. But I didn't say. I complied completely. And that's what happened. Man, it's crazy out there, Seth.
It is crazy. It was awesome to watch, and we were so lucky to have you tell us, I don't know, share that with us. And I want to thank you.